Hello there, lovely people. How are you doing? Today it's around 7:30 p.m. right now here in Dhaka, and I'm doing not fragrance review, which is my usual work in my channel. I'm trying something different. This is a requested video. uh, One of our subscribers sort of inboxed me and said, could you share, I noticed you bought a new phone, could you share your thoughts on that? And I said, I will, and I will give you some written. He said, is it possible that you do a content that you talk about the phone as a user review, so it will help many other people to make decisions, because the new phone and the phone that I am gonna do a talk about, it's nothing to do with fragrances, so I do apologize on a fragrance channel, but I will give you my user experience with this fragrance phone, which I never did any phones review on my channel. It's just not even a review, it's a customer feedback, you can say user response or feedback sort of, on this S23 Ultra. Okay, so you guys know this one came out in 2022. It was regarded as the, if not the best, one of the best release of that year, yes, last year, and I think the next one is coming very soon. So S23 Ultra, I think was like before that there was S22 Ultra and there's S21, if I'm not mistaken. So I never bought any flagships. Let me tell you the overall story, what kind of phones I used. Okay, and I'll talk, take my time. It's kind of like a discussion. You may, stop watching, it's okay, I don't mind, but I'll give you overall why I stick to Samsung, okay, why I stick to Android, and why I was never into iPhones. Okay, so sorry, when I started off, like my very first, I'm gonna go a little bit way back. I had this phone called, I think, Nokia or Motorola, one of those old phones with the, like, this rubbery buttons, like the very first batches of phones which had this antenna and then black phone, huge. I had that and used to run out of charge all the time. 1 hour battery would be gone, and I used to carry my charger with it. Then followed by some of the other phones like Sagem, nowadays people don't know these brands. Then I had Nokia's 3310. Then followed by those white phone. Then they started doing some little bit more like phones, like Nokia released, they had MMS, you can do videos. So I did have from time to time like Sony Ericsson and all that. But when the overall smartphones came, I started using some of the basic Samsung phones which didn't have very good response. Then I had Note, Note 2, I forgot. They used to have this beautiful premium leather cover at the back, very thin metal body, very, very premium, one of the best phones back in the market. So I used Notes, back in the days, Notes in 2000, you can say 12, 13, that time. So from then I got 2016, I left Malaysia. I'm sorry, I'm taking a little bit of time so you understand where this phone stands. I never bought any flagship phones of any company. Then before I left Malaysia, I had the Notes, but I saw this phone. This basically still runs, but I don't use it anymore. First few videos in 2016, 17, I think I used this phone, this A9 Pro or A19 Pro, for A9 Pro. And this was on the biggest phone in the market at the time. You can see the what do you call this, chin is so much more. Back in the days, you used to have this physical button. It turns on. I do keep it alive, and the phone is in still very good condition. If I show you, okay, you're gonna get annoyed, but I decided to do this only one video. So yeah, see the body and everything, Corning Gorilla Glass and stuff. It was like everything loaded. So I got this phone. It served me very well, but with time Samsung's main problem is the lag, phone becoming slow, gets stuck, overheating. So I stopped using it. Then I bought A51, which I'm still doing the video with. I still have it, trusted phone. Then I bought A52. A52 I just sold off recently, and I changed it, like sort of swapped and then trade in, and I bought this one. And this is the most expensive Samsung phone right now in the market, and regarded as one of the best. Even most of the reviews you see out there, they say this is the most upgraded in terms of camera speed, the what you call overall, the display, the chipset, everything is just the best. It's untouchable. And then it does have the Invicta, whatever that the glass, I don't even know those technical terms. So front and back you get really, really good protection. This one can be waterproof under certain water level. Even if you keep it for half an hour, I heard people say the phone still works. And even if you drop it, it actually takes it very well. So let me start with pros and cons, the price, and then I will give you overall score on this phone. Should you go for it or not? So first of all, price. I think this phone, if you bought from, in my country, if you buy, you have to pre-order, and this one costs well over $220. So That's the official price. If you buy non-official, like people buy overseas from, they bring it from Dubai or India or somewhere. This one I believe they got it from Dubai perhaps. And these phones, it will cost you much less. So I paid about under $150, $140. Okay, so that is not cheap. That is well over 100. Sorry, 1,000. Not $100. What I'm saying, $1,000, not 100. 1,400 under. So what you get from this, you get the box and you get sort of like a cord, I think. Yeah, they give you a cord like this, but you have to buy the charger. It doesn't come with the charger, you guys know it already. So I purchased the second most powerful charger. I think this is 25 or something watts. There's another one called 45 or 49, that 50-watt charger, that is even expensive, but I think they said this is the best value. So this one charges my phone using this cord they gave. I can charge it under 1 hour. It is fully charged, 45 minutes, so full charge. How long the charge stays? 1 day plus. This phone you can get easily over 1 day, easily, even with heavy usage. The display on this, man, I would suggest to you, the curve is less on the side, like compared to the previous one. So the screen protector that you put, it doesn't really come out, so it sticks very well. So definitely put another protection right in front of it, and you'll be really good to go. At the back, you to cover this from the scratching and the camera bump, which is not so much, but there's still, if you keep it on a rough surface, you may get scratches. So I'm not sure, but I actually opt for this one. I had to pay. This one I have to buy. They didn't provide any back cover with the phone. So this one is see-through. I can see I have the black phantom color. I think this one, it shows the back of the phone very nicely, and then it does protect. The cover protects the camera bump, but then eventually when you take pictures, make sure you wipe the lenses, which comes with I think 4 camera or 5 camera, 5 camera I guess, yeah, or 1 less. Anyway, so wipe it to get the best picture. So there, the phone feels really, really good. It's really, for me, even though it's a 5,000 milliamp battery, I feel it's fat. Okay, the phone is a little bit thick, could have been thinner, but to put more battery or something, or just to accommodate this S Pen, okay, perhaps they made a sort of like a less battery. If someone said, if not for this S Pen, which used to be a feature of Note series, if not for this, you could have gotten like 6,000 milliamp battery, which would be even better. But 5,000 really works well. And even with always on display, this one does have good battery backup. So the comparison with iPhone, I never bought iPhone, but I saw the comparison. People say that always on display is too bright for iPhone, so it rains more. So to compete with this, you have to buy the iPhone 14 Pro Max. That is equivalent to this, but battery life, I think perhaps that one is a bit better. But for price, this is better. So now I'll come to the cons, like what are the things I don't like about it, but what are the other things? This one, I'm not really good with the operating system and all that, but this one is super fast. The usability or the movement is very, very smooth. This phone is one of the fastest phones, in the market, definitely for flagship. Really good display. You don't see any chin, doesn't have any side chin or what you call bezel. I don't know what you call this thing, doesn't have that much. The whole thing is a screen. So very good, looks really nice. Camera punch hole is small compared to the iPhone, which has this what island, that thing that covers a lot, and I cannot unsee it, when you're watching something like this and there's like a huge dark area that's cut off from your screen. Don't like that. The camera punch hole is very, very nice. Overall, the display, everything beautiful in the sun, like brightness. This phone really, you can see everything easily. The sound, it has 2 stereo speakers, I think 2 speakers, I think, up and down, very loud, very clear, doesn't break. The sound doesn't have any problem, doesn't distort. So I'm very happy with what you get, the display, playing everything, videos, watching contents, like everything, or just like using Facebook and all that. This is very, very good. The keypad, everything's top notch. So the thing is, you have to understand one thing. I've been using it only for about a month or less. I cannot say after 1 year how this is going to turn out to be, but there's going to be some downsides. Maybe the display, everything, it will get worse. The phone will have like lag. But for now, 1 month, no issue. So the thing is, I dropped this phone once, okay, by accident. And I was holding this phone while I was at the restaurant. I was holding the phone like this. And it's such a huge phone. You cannot, you see, you cannot really even grab the whole phone. There's like, you need a really big like palm to hold it. So I was opening the door with this, and the phone was in my hand, and the door was really, really like the handle was hard, so sort of like it slide out and it fell like this on the back with the casing, and had a small little like not crack, you can say that the screen took a little bit of a, you know, just a small little crack, but you can see it. Apart from that, nothing happened to the phone. Phone is working fine. So I guess it is well built. So now coming to the camera, this phone I got it for the camera. I do content and I do YouTube reviews on perfumes and everything, so I thought like taking better pictures, doing better video on 8K, which is super nice. You can do many options on this phone. You get the close, you know, distance photography is great. You can zoom in, you can take that famous, you know, telescopic, what do you call that, that lens that you can take picture of the moon. I did, and I thought it was a gimmick, but no, I did take awesome pictures of the moon. You just have to keep your hand very stabilized, and then you can take great shots of the moon. And nighttime, daytime, it has great picture quality. So overall, the phone feels good, but I'll talk about the downsides. There's nothing complete without the negatives or some of the weaknesses. Otherwise, you don't get a full picture. So I think I covered all the good stuff, and it makes an impression. It does feel premium. It's massive phone, so people look at it, they know. Like if you see the old phones and stuff, they used to be much, even that phone was bigger, but even you can see, like if you have some other phones, this looks premium, especially from the back. But one thing is, from the front, it looks just like any other A51, A52. So it doesn't really have that much of, like iPhone has that very premium, like every year they release two, right? And then next year they'll release. So iPhone sort of, people know, oh, the camera bump and everything, this is that phone. Samsung from front you can tell, but on the back, people can tell. So transferring, you can take videos, everything, but unfortunately, let's start with the negatives. When I got this phone, I did videos, front camera, I did full screen. When I passed it, I couldn't play it in my laptop. My laptop I bought in 2017 or 18, and now it's not supporting the video format of this. So I went to the shop, they couldn't get me any player. So basically I have to blind upload. I cannot watch it on my laptop. So this is very upgraded. You need to have very recent Windows. I did change, it didn't really help. So that's one thing, could be a trouble if you're using the old laptop. Second thing, some of the faults I would say, or downside of this phone is the prices of these go down rapidly. Okay, the day I bought it, like I bought it $135, $1,300, right? And the very next week, this one got dropped by $100, and I got so mad because if I waited 1 week, I could have saved that $100. Then I'm like, it's okay, I wanted it. It was like hot offer during the Valentine's Day and all that, and I want to grab it as soon as possible. So I'm like, I don't mind. And then they didn't have more than this color. They had only white and black. I choose black, but there's this nice green color which is not available just yet. And I think they did release a pink or some other color that also look nice. So the thing is, you have to pre-order and wait. If you get it from flagship stores or Samsung stores, you have to wait about a month or so, and you have to pay a lot more. Second thing, bad thing about this, you don't get a charger. It's been happening for a while, but I find it big cheap. I mean, if you have an old Samsung charger like the old one, you can use it, but for this phone with the option, maybe they should have added that option, like, no, take the charger, maybe just to save the packaging space. It's a very small box, so they don't give the charger, which I find a little bit annoying even now. Then next one, this phone, one of the biggest problem with this phone is its weight. This phone, at first when you hold it, it feels like very nicely, I mean, the weight distribution is very good, and you feel comfy. And compared to your previous phone, this feels like, even the S22 was more slippery. This side, it used to be more curvy. It's less curvy now, it's more straightforward, so it doesn't really slide out that much. But after holding it like this, most people, we do like this, right? Use the phone. What happens is you get pain here. I have wrist pain from very long time. Since I opened my restaurant in 2012, I have wrist problem. And holding this phone for almost the whole day, I start feeling my hand is hurting. So the body is heavy. This phone has weight, metal body, glass, everything makes it heavy. Big, I would say not let down, but you have to keep this on mind. If you have a small hand, if you don't have very big wrist or strong arm, after a while this phone will feel too big. Even in the pocket, it feels like it's taking up too much space compared to other phones. Another thing is I don't like is the side buttons, which people say is not premium. You know, the volume rockers and the power button. I mean, it could have been much bigger, or two different sides, volume here, power there in this side. That could be one thing. Another thing is, I'm not used to this fingerprint like scanner. Usually my A52, this phone, it's like here, okay? And then when you hold the phone, what do? You go from here to here. It's easy, right? This phone, after like at least a week, you have to get used to it. You have to go up to find the right spot. And it's like sometimes, the thing is like it's very quick. Fingerprint is very, very quick, but you have to find the right spot. I don't like that positioning. I feel this one, they could have fixed it or put it somewhere here. That would be great. The facial recognition I haven't tried, but I think it also works. But apart from those, these are some of my complaints with this phone, and I find this phone is a bit difficult to manage one hand. You cannot operate this, big problem. If you have a small hand, this is impossible to operate with one hand. If you are doing this, you have to hold it one hand, and then you have to use it like this. If you're holding it like one hand like this, unless you have really big hand or arm, palm, you will have a difficult time managing it, because it's too big of a screen. Okay, so these are some of the things that I can think of. I should have taken notes, but overall I'm very happy with the phone. It does have heating issue, like it does get hot, after a while using for, let's say the screen is on for half an hour, 1 hour, you will definitely feel after switching it off, you'll feel the phone picked up some heat at the back. When it's charging, it heats up as well. So these are some of the problems with Samsung, and in time I noticed Samsung starts lagging, which I never have seen in iPhone. My friends use, they never complain. Even after years, iPhone stays intact. And one other thing, iPhone's resale value is so much better than Samsung. So I only bought this for one reason. I'm not going to sell this. Okay, my assumption is I'm going to use it. I got it for the camera. The best camera at this moment is this. I considered a Google phone, right? Yeah. And then Oppo, other brands, man, trust me, OnePlus, the latest ones, nothing came close to this. Okay, so this is the most premium phone. That's why I bought it, and I really like it. Battery backup, everything. Every phone has its pros and cons, but so far no major issue apart from the ones that I mentioned. So choose wisely, and check your other shops, to get a best pricing, because these prices will come down very, very quickly. So don't pay too much. Okay, and the thing is, you want to get definitely the back cover, which is always handy. It helps it, from sliding from your hand. It gives you good grip, and when you keep it in the table or something, even if it drags, it will save the back panel, cameras, pump, and everything. Great phone. Overall, I'm very happy with the phone, but it's a bit high maintenance and it's too heavy for my liking. Thank you so much for watching. So do let me know if you ever used it, and what are the things you like about it, what are the things you don't like about it. If I missed any point, I do apologize, but just wanted to give you my 2 cents. Overall, this phone, I would say I'm very happy with the phone. It's a premium phone, but I rather wish it was much lighter. The weight is a bit too much for user friendliness. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.